Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So some of you have may noticed that there was a fighter update, and in this video I'm going to go over what stats got buffed, what stats got nerfed. And I know a lot of you guys probably know some of the major ones, but I'm going to go over some of the lesser known ones maybe. So stay tuned and maybe you'll find something that you didn't know. So let's start with Dustin Poirier here. As you see, he's now in the top 3 of the lightweight division, and he's earned it. So let's go over his stand-up stats. So his accuracy got +1. It went from 97 to 98. His blocking went from 93 to 95. His head movement went from 94 to 95. His footwork went up from 94 to 97. His switch stance went from 90 to a 94. His kick speed went from 90 to a 92. So that's it for his stand-up, which I think all those changes are pretty good there. So his takedown went from 89 to a 90. His top control went from 89 to a 92. His ground striking went from 89 to a 93. His clinch control went from 90 to a 92, and then his chin went up from 93 to a 95. So some pretty damn good changes. I feel like, he's a fighter that you would see a lot in ranked. I feel like you're going to see a lot more of him now that, he's been updated and he's in this top 3 spot. A lot of people, use these guys in the top 3, which you can't blame them. You can't blame them. It is how it is. So let's move on to his opponent, Conor McGregor, who got some nerfs, and he got a buff here and there. So let's start with the striking. His punch speed went down from a 97 to a 96. His punch power went down from 96 to a 95. Then his switch stance went up from an 87 to a 90. And then his takedown defense went down from a 91 to an 89. His kick speed went up from a 92 to a 93. And then his bottom game went from an 89 to an 87. And that's all the changes for Conor McGregor. I feel like maybe he should have got, a bump in the leg health down, but I kind of see why they didn't. It would have been kind of disrespectful, but I feel like, maybe it should have went down to 88 or 89, but I understand why they didn't. So anyway, let's move on. Let's go to the welterweight division. Stephen Wonderboy, as you see, he is now in the top 10 here. Before, he was not in the top 10. You'd have to go to A to Z to find him. Now you don't have to do that. So he didn't get many changes, but he got a few. So let's go over them. So his block went up from 87 to 89. His takedown defense went down from 94 to 93. And then his chin went up from a 92 to a 93. So that's it for Stephen Thompson. Not much, but a few points here and there. He got his block up and his takedown defense, down because Gilbert Burns was able to take him down, on a few occasions, which Wonderboy has always been known for having, awesome takedown defense. So, but let's talk about Gilbert Burns here. So his footwork went from a 90 to a 91, and then his takedowns went from a 92 to a 93. His top control went from a 93 to a 94, and then his recovery went from an 88 to an 89. And I feel like there was more changes, but these are the ones that I found. So, like I said, I might miss some things here, but I've had to do all this research on my own. So, but let's move on. In the next person in the welterweight division, he actually lost, so we got a few nerfs. Is Carlos Condit here. So his punch power went down from 90 to 89. His accuracy went from a 91 to a 90. Then his body health went from 89 to an 88, and his recovery actually went up from 88 to a 90. And another person in this weight class that got upped is Matt Brown, but his punch power only went from 91 to a 93 after he scored that, he scored a knockout over Diego Lima. So yeah, that's it for the welterweight division. So let's move on to the featherweight division here. The Korean Zombie. So he got quite, as you see, he was never up here before. He's in the top 4 now. He used to be, down here, number 12 or so. So he got some good changes. So let's go over them. So his punch power went up from a 93 to a 94. His blocking went up from 89 to a 92. His head movement went from 90 to 92. His footwork went from 88 to an 89. His takedown defense went from 86 to a 90. His kick power went up from 89 to a 91. And his kick speed went from 90 to 91. So what I like here is his takedown defense went from 86 to a 90, which I think that's a good upgrade. His punch power also went up, so that's good. His blocking, those are just some good stat adjustments. And then that's not it, because his takedowns went from 86 to a 91, and his top control went from 91 to a 93. His ground striking went from 87 to 88. His clinch striking went from 86 to 88, and his clinch control went from 87 to 88. And then his health stats got boosted a little bit too. His cardio went from 91 to 93. His chin went from 93 to a 94, and his recovery actually dropped. It was a 97, now it's 94, which I don't understand why, but it is what it is. Maybe they did that to balance him out, not make him so OP, but it is what it is. So let's look at his opponent. The man, he fought, that he put on a master class against. No offense to Dan Ige, I'm still a huge fan. So Dan Ige, his punch speed actually went up from a 92 to a 93. His blocking went from a 92 to a 93. His takedowns, which are right here, went down from an 89 to an 88. Then his sub defense also went down from a 92 to a 90. Then his clinch control also went down from an 89 to an 88. So, not major changes. And I feel like Dan Ige is not a guy that I would really run into a lot on ranked. So, but, so he's still usable. But anyway, let's move on. And let me take a look at my notes. I think we're going to be going to the heavyweight division here. Actually, wait, we got one more person in the featherweight division. And that's this man, Bernardo Moicano. So he didn't get many, but they're worth mentioning. So his block went down from a 96 to a 94. His takedowns went from 88 to 87. His top game went up from a 90 to a 92. And his ground striking went from 88 to a 90. So, not bad, not major changes. He's not going to be a fighter you're going to run into a lot. Maybe some people might try him, but I doubt it. So now let's move on to the heavyweight division, because Cyril gone and Volkov and Tatu Avasa all got stat updates. And let's start with Gone here. So His punch speed went from a 93 to a 95. His accuracy went from a 94 to a 96. His footwork went from 96 to a 97. His kick speed went from a 96 to a 97. And then his cardio went from a 94 to a 95. So again, not big changes, but they're still going to make him more of a problem than he already is, because he's already a problem. If in the right hands, I've been destroyed by several, gone players, and so just be aware he did get a stat update. So, and then let's look at his opponent, Volkov. He got some nerfs here. So his accuracy went down from a 96 to a 95. His block went from a 96 to a 94. His footwork went from a 93 to a 92. His takedown defense went from a 92 to a 90. And then his takedowns went up from an 82 to an 84. His sub defense went up from an 88 to an 89. His ground striking went up from 86 to 87. His clinch striking went up from 89 to a 90. Clinch control 87 to 88. And then his cardio went up from a 92 to a 93. And this is a fighter, I haven't really used much, I'll be honest, but I saw Marshall Mine use him a little bit ago, and it made me kind of interested, but then I just never got around to it. So let me know if you guys have tried him, and if is he worth giving a try. I probably will anyway, but I just want to hear what you guys think, if anything. But anyway, Tai Tuivasa here. Let's see, let me find him. He got a few, not much, but there's some. So his accuracy went up from an 88 to 89. His kick power went from a 91 to a 92. His kick speed went from 89 to a 90. And then his chin went up from a 90 to a 92. And his recovery went from 89 to a 92. And then there's one more fighter, Mr. Sean O'Malley. He didn't get, a lot of changes, but he got some. So actually only two. His accuracy went up from a 93 to a 97. So that's, that's 4 points in accuracy. And I feel like accuracy is kind of a important stat. It's the ability to hit a moving target. Like when someone's moving their head, I feel like this accuracy, how it's explained anyway, is accuracy is the ability to hit a moving target. So I feel like the better accuracy you have, the better tracking your punches have. The more, I don't know, if you guys must know about the tracking and how it's kind of an issue. I feel like they should kind of get rid of this stat, but that's a whole nother video. So kind of getting off topic, but yeah, the accuracy stat is I feel like one of the most important ones when I look for a fighter. If they have good accuracy, it means am I going to be able to hit a fighter while they're moving? Like how accurate am I going to be? And then his switch stance went up from a 96 to a 97. So now that I messed up this video by going off on the accuracy, those are all the fighter updates that I know of anyway. If I missed some, I'm sure I did. Just let me know in the comments, and yeah, I'll try to go over them. But yeah, I think you're going to see a lot more Dustin if you hadn't already. Conor McGregor is still a beast, in the game, at least, look at those stats, man. Accuracy is 99. That's just crazy to me. That's just crazy. His power's still 95. So not too much of a nerf for you Conor McGregor guys. But yeah, the fighter I am most excited about is the Korean Zombie. I am interested to try him out to see how he feels, to see if he feels better. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, subscribe, all that stuff's free. And I'll see you guys in the next one.